Barmare.
Welcome to Educate, Inform, and Challenge. My name is Teresa MacLennan. I'm Executive Director of the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrie. We are so glad that you, our community, are here with us today. As you know, the purpose of our show is, of course, we talk about the lives and experiences of women. We talk about women experiencing abuse and human trafficking, gender equity. We talk about women in leadership and decision-making, women in politics. We also always love to talk to men in our community who are using their voice in productive, positive ways that also embrace gender equity and the voices of women, and men and women who decide to give back to their community, which makes a better living place for all of us. And so we are very thankful that you, our community, have joined us here today. Before we begin, we do want to thank our Indigenous community. We thank you for allowing us to have these conversations on these lands, on these traditional territories. We want to strive to be allies and partners and a community that recognizes and really sees the importance of the impact and contributions of our Indigenous community. So thank you so much. So I am really excited today to be talking to my friend Shakir, who many of you may know him. You've seen his face. I consider him to be a public figure here in the city of Barrie and outside as well. And he really is someone that we in our city should know. He does great work. He supports many groups and many, causes that are very near and dear to my heart here, like the shelter. So he is an important person for us to know, and also to be able to always say thank you for the great things that he does. So welcome, Shakir. I am thrilled that you're here today.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I am thrilled to be here today as well.
Thank you. So why don't we start with, maybe you could give us a rundown about the multiple hats that you wear, the many projects that you're involved in.
So I think I try my best to wear as many hats as possible, but it is not very easy. It is very challenging, and life is so short to accomplish as much as we can. And while we do that, I try, like each project that I'm part of, bring its unique set of challenges and rewards. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to make a positive impact in various spheres of the community. So the different hats, I would say, is my giving back organization, which is Beyond Giving, under which we created an amazing event called as Glam It Up Barrie in 2014, and raising funds for the charity organizations. And not only that, creating business exposure, networking, and creating awareness for the local community organizations. So that is one of the things which is very close to my heart is Beyond Giving. And then I also am the founder of Barrie Indian Association, which is a cultural organization bringing cultural diversity to our community, bringing people from different culture together and showcasing them what diversity is. And my other business is photography and videography, and through which I cover celebrations and capture them as memories for my clients.
And certainly for our community to know, Shakir has been for years now an incredible supporter of our agency. The women that we support would attend Glam It Up Barrie, and they would be pampered and cared for, and the smiles on their faces from their experience on that day is just really something to behold. It is really, really incredible, because it wouldn't be a pampering or an experience that our women would have in their lives. So we're so appreciative of that. And also Shakir has been a long-term supporter of our Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. And I have seen Shakir put on the red high heels. I've seen him walking the walk and talking the talk, and really putting his support around ending violence against women. So thank you so much, Shakir, for all of that support to us and so many in the community. There's not a lot of people that have a spirit of giving back, making a difference in the community. Where does that come from for you?
So that definitely comes from my name. I was named Shakir by my mother, and Shakir, if you don't know, means being thankful, being grateful.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, so that is where the practice of gratitude comes growing up and giving back while we are, in that phase culturally or society wise. How do we appreciate the ones we loved or the ones we appreciate so much, how we give back? And that's how growing up that embedded in me. And many individuals feel a sense of gratitude for the opportunities and privileges they have enjoyed in their lives. So for me, giving back is a way to express appreciation and share good fortune with others.
And is there a personal life philosophy behind that? It sounds like your family was an influence in just how you looked at other people and giving back, right? I, from what I know about you and I see about you, you are also, I think, someone who lives life to the fullest as much as you can and sees joy in moments in life, right? Can you just talk to us about that philosophy that you have about living life?
So to add that, definitely the cultural and religious values have given me that opportunity to, emphasize the importance of compassion, generosity, and helping those in need. But at the same time, our personal growth matters a lot. So engaging in philanthropy and giving back can be, I would say, a transformative experience for individuals. It provides it provides an opportunity for personal growth, learning, and a deeper understanding of the need of others. And while I do that, I try to balance the life of spirituality, relationships, health, finances, and of course our business. So balancing that is not very easy, but living the life to the fullest matters the most.
What does that bring to you personally as Shakir when you think about giving back and how you live your life and your views about people and, loving people? Like, what does that bring to your life in doing that?
I would say the empathy. Definitely. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feeling of others. And it is definitely a powerful motivator for giving back. So I would say witnessing the challenges and struggles of others can evoke a strong desire to make that positive impact.
There's so much that I want to talk to you about, but there's so many things that you're saying that I just think, I just want to think about this, right? What is your assessment in terms of how we're doing as a community in terms of caring for others? Like, what's your opinion in terms of where you feel we're at with that?
So definitely as a community, we have to come together, and our community is very diverse. And when we're diverse, we have to work as a inclusive community. When we come together and we actively work towards creating inclusive spaces, I would say. And I try and collaborate with organizations such as Women and Children Shelter. And there are many other organizations which I have been involved with. I would say Gilda's Club or Youth Haven or Season Center for Grieving Children or Rainbows for Children. And that involves participating in discussions, the workshops, and awareness projects that promote equality and understanding among diverse communities.
So would you say that we still have quite a bit of work to do?
100%, 100%. There is a long way to go, and without coming together, I won't see how we are going to accomplish that together.
So how do you facilitate that coming together, that bridging understanding in our community?
So I'm all about inclusivity and equity and diversity and unity. So, and most of my events basically give the message in the community that we have to come together, collaborate together, and grow together. And I think that's the number one step before initiating that we have to go that way. So inclusivity and collaboration between organizations can result in massive, achievements.
Yeah, and I'm just really enjoying our conversation because, I've grown up in Barrie my entire life. And as a woman who has experienced privilege, and I'm very aware of the privilege that I carry, I have been so excited about the change in diversity that is happening in our community that I have grown up in the city of Barrie seeing change continually. And I'm so excited about it. I love the different culture. I love the different languages. I love the different smells, the food, everything that's happening around me in our community. It can be hard, though, for some folks to move with those changes and to embrace the change and the excitement that can bring, and wanting to dig in their heels and not see that change happen, right? What's your thoughts on just how we get people to expand their thinking and be open to change and be open to diversity and inclusion, right? How do we knock down barriers that people may carry for such a long time?
This is definitely an interesting topic because there are many factors to it, Teresa. We as individuals, we definitely have to lead by example. And that is the number one step in the strategy which you are considering, that how do we do it? Leading by example, demonstrate respectful and equitable behavior in our own life. If you know what I mean, basically, we have to treat everyone, regardless of gender or their race or their culture or whatever makes them different or unique, with kindness and fairness. And believe it or not, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I agree. And, we've had some really great guests on our show, and, there can be a lot of talking about, well, it should look like this, and this is what we need to do, and it's really good stuff, and let's go team. But the actions do not align with the words. You don't see it actually play out in terms of, okay, well, what are we going to do then? How are we going to embrace change? How are we going to embrace and be excited about different community groups that are calling Barrie home, right? And I agree with you 100% that the action has got to be there for it to have any kind of meaning, and that we're true to our word in the things that we say we believe in, right? So anyway, there's just so much that I would love to talk to you about this. And so right now, we're going to head into a very, very short commercial break, and then we're going to dive right back into this great conversation with my friend Shakir. Please stay with us, and we will be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I did it. I need it.
Here, I gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
back to Educate, Inform, and Challenge. We're having a really great discussion with my friend Shakir, who is also involved with Beyond Giving Canada. And we've been having a conversation about creating communities that are welcoming, safe, and also encouraging diversity, equity for all. And so we're going to dive back in. And as I had mentioned before, Shakir has been a very long-term supporter of our agency. He's not someone who is afraid to use his voice to talk about ending violence against women. And we rely on men to be equal partners in obtaining that goal. And through so many of our events, Shakir participates and he lends his voice, right? And so we just always want to highlight that incredible support we receive from Shakir. So Shakir, if I can dive back in, why do you think it is important for men to speak about violence against women and what role they have to ending violence against women?
Interesting. So
big
I would
question.
say it is a big question because as a man and asking other men to join the forces, I think there are a few things which are very important, and I think the number one point I would say is a role modeling positive behavior towards women, or the relationships, or to the society. So men who actively promote healthy relationships, they communicate respectfully and they reject violence, and they can serve as a positive role models in the society, in the community. And this is especially impactful for the younger generations who are in school or colleges nowadays, and who are still developing their understanding of gender dynamics.
What do you think is it that makes it so difficult for some men to use their voice and to maybe go against what previous norms have always been in terms of relation or in terms of the roles of men and women? Like, why can it be such a challenge for men to say, you know what? I don't want to hear that dirty joke about that woman. I don't want to hear about that joke that talks about beating women. You know, what makes it hard for men? What do you think some of the barriers are?
And this is interesting because I was just talking to my partner last night about this as well. And we talked about it, and we figured that there is a big misconception, or I would say misunderstanding feminism. So misconceptions about feminism, when we have it, we may contribute to reluctance. And some men may view feminism as a threat to their own rights rather than as a movement seeking equality for all genders. And the other one, which I would say is the lack of education. Some men may not fully understand the prevalence or the impact of gender-based violence. And this is where the education comes in picture. Education about the issues, or including the systemic nature of gender inequality, is crucial for, I would say, fostering equality and understanding.
I love that you just brought feminist theory, per se, into the conversation, because people hear that word and it conjures up such a picture of radical feminism that is going against the importance of men, that, people think that it means that women want to be better than men, right? And it could not be far from the truth in terms of what women are trying to achieve. And we can all define feminism very differently as well, right? For sure. Because for me, it is about the equality, that my voice is just as important as a man's. It's not more important, but it can be just as important, right? And I value if I'm asked my opinion about something that maybe typically has been something that only men can comment on. And I so value the voice of men to speak about ending violence against women and how we do that together. Women have been using their voices for years to try and end violence against women. The piece that's been missing is the voice of men. And that is why I'm just so thankful for this conversation with you, and that you brought that into the fold of our conversation, because even those comments by you and men who are listening can plant different seeds of thinking for men about maybe I should be thinking about things a little bit differently now. Maybe my perception about what I thought feminist means isn't really true in today's world, right? So thank you so much for just bringing that into our conversation. It's really, really important to me. There's such a role that men have, but there's just such a role for every person to be giving back to their community, getting involved in things that mean something to them. How can that look for different people? How can people become involved? And think about, what are your gifts and talents that you could actually give back to somebody or an agency?
That is bringing everyone together. So I would say definitely educate them and raise awareness, share information about the prevalence and impact of gender-based violence. We can help men understand the importance of being allies in the fight for gender equality. And definitely there are ways of creating awareness that can be workshops, seminars, and maybe awareness campaigns can be very effective if we do it every month or every quarterly, and bring different organizations together, which are highly men oriented. So bringing more men together. Just to elaborate more on that, Teresa, I would say get involved with organizations who are working to address gender-based violence and promote gender equality. And I would request all the men to volunteer their time or skills or even the resources to support initiatives that empower women and challenge harmful norms.
I love that. And I mean, we see that with men coming out to walk a mile, as you have. They put on the shoes, although you don't have to wear the high heels. We do have flip-flops now for, men who would prefer to wear something more flat. You don't have to wear the high heels. But we love that event because yourself, very police services officers come out, our fire department comes out, men and women, and they put on the shoes. And that is action in motion. 100%. It is saying to the community, I am here and I am going to be a visible display of taking action towards something that is important to me, ending violence against women, right? And we have more men that participate in that event than we do women. And that is key, because that came from the Men's Million March. And so men recognized it rests with us as men to figure out what it is that we're doing, right? And I'll share this too, and our community has heard me say this. So many times when we talk about violence against women and we're talking about why did she stay? Why didn't she just leave? Why didn't she call the police? Why did she? The conversations that is missing in that is, why did he?
Why did he? 100%.
Because when we are focused on the actions of an abused woman, it detracts from the actions of the actual abuser and what has led us to that situation. We need to understand that more. That is where the voices of men come in, having conversation with other men, right? And young boys, like you talked about, younger generation, school. How do we get in and have conversation with young boys about what it means to be a boy, what it means to be a man, right? You've heard the saying, boys will be boys. How about no? How about boys will be good human beings?
Exactly.
Right? Right? Yeah, very absolutely, true. Right? So how, I want to give you kind of the last word. We've got about 5 minutes left yet. How will you encourage other men and just people in the community to become involved in whatever speaks to their heart, but what it means to you and just why it would be important for them to become involved?
I think getting them involved is all about their family first. They have a mother, they have a wife, they have a sister, they have a daughter, and this is where they step up, become an ally, and actively support and stand up for women. And being an ally involves recognizing and using your privilege to amplify marginalized voices.
And what do you want to say about for folks to explore what their special talents and skills are in a way of being able to give back? So, you know, you have such incredible skills on social media and creating platforms, right? How do people tap into their skills and abilities?
So there's definitely a way of giving back. If you have a skill, give it back. You will get more out of it. And this is what I believe in. I give back and I get more. And it's not just financially, it's basically the blessings or the fulfillment. That's how I look at. And it gives me a different kind of happiness, which is like so hard to find nowadays. So if you have a skill, give it as much as you can. Talent, give it as much as you can. And trust me, you will get back so much.
So is there opportunity for people to support you in the work that you're doing with Beyond Giving or in other capacities?
100%. So with Beyond Giving, what we do is we bring small businesses together to network and get business exposure and benefit in future. And at the same time, we help community organizations or the charity organizations to create an awareness and raise funds for them. So any small business, anyone with talent or skills who are willing to join Beyond Giving, they're more than welcome to. Next year, we are hosting Glamina Berry in support of Women and Children's Shelter, and we are hosting Misbehaving Berry as well. And I host my private birthday party, which I do it for a different charity organization. And between these three events, which come under Beyond Giving, we raise a lot of awareness and raise funds as well.
And so Beyond Giving is really open to anyone, Shakir?
Anyone and everyone, 100%.
Yeah. So if folks want to get in touch with you to know more, what's the best way for them to find out more information and then maybe to reach out to you?
So my email is beyondgivingcanada@gmail.com, and that's the best way to reach out. You can also check our Instagram and Facebook, a lot of information there.
Okay. And is there a fundraising component to Beyond Giving for Beyond Giving? Like, do you need to raise funds? Yeah.
No. So we bring community together to raise funds for the charity organizations.
The charities. Okay. Because always, if there's ever a need for the great work that's happening in the community and there's a need for fundraising attached to that, we always want to highlight that because, you know, we want to make sure that you're supported in the great work that you're doing as well. So I really encourage our community, please check out Beyond Giving Canada. There's just such a wealth of information there. You can really see the philosophy about embracing community, embracing diversity when you check out that information. And if you have an interest to become involved, please reach out to Shakir. Ask more questions. I know that he is such an incredibly approachable person. Shakir, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of our conversation today. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Come on in, take a seat. Or better yet,
look at this crowd on its feet.
For aggressive D and knockdown threes, athleticism and speed, for spicy